In our concluding comments, I'd now like to put forward 4 reasons why Australia believes that it's in the best interests of both parties to support the current treaties. First, the treaties represent, as I hope we've demonstrated, a reasonable agreed outcome. In fact, the Timor Sea Treaty and the subsequent treaties really are a model example of how 2 states can work together for mutual benefit, despite different views on how to finalise boundaries. The treaty framework has provided the certainty and stability to enable the early exploitation of resources so revenue could start flowing immediately to Timor-Leste. The stable revenue provided by the 2002 Timor Sea Treaty was particularly important for supporting Timor-Leste's recovery from conflict and economic development in the first years of its independence. In addition to providing a stable revenue stream to Timor-Leste, the Timor Sea treaties have enabled that country to benefit from Australia's considerable expertise in offshore oil field regulation, which has assisted to build its own capacity in oil and gas regulation. The stability and experience brought by Australia's involvement in regulation of the joint development area has also been instrumental, we believe, in fostering investment. One of Timor-Leste's arguments for dispensing with the current treaty framework is that it claims Australia has exploited Timor-Leste's vulnerability as a developing state. I hope we've demonstrated this is simply not true, nor is that claim compatible with the undeniable benefits that have flowed to Timor-Leste since the Timor Sea treaties were agreed. Timor-Leste proposed many of the key aspects of these arrangements itself, celebrated them at the time as major achievements, and has benefited significantly from them. Second, the treaties do exactly what the Convention on the Law of the Sea encourages us to do, to enter into cooperative, provisional arrangements pending final delimitation. Far from being an obstacle to sovereignty, as Timor-Leste has sometimes suggested, when Australia and Timor-Leste negotiated and agreed to the treaties, the 2 countries were, in fact, exercising their rights as sovereign nations as well as achieving the objectives of UNCLOS. The preamble to UNCLOS recognises one of the key purposes of the Convention is, quote, to promote the peaceful uses of the seas and oceans, the equitable and efficient utilisation of their resources. By agreeing to put aside our differences and to cooperate through arrangements for joint development, Timor-Leste and Australia avoided a protracted standoff of the type so often seen elsewhere. Third, we must honour our commitments and uphold our obligations. Despite years of negotiations, extensive give and take on both sides, and numerous statements by both countries that the agreements reached serve the interests of each party, Timor-Leste is in fact seeking to avoid giving effect to a commitment it not only voluntarily entered into, but in fact proposed. What Timor-Leste is now proposing would undermine the reputation of the parties for providing a stable and secure investment environment in the Timor Sea. Companies which invest billions in developing resources are entitled to expect a level of certainty that countries will abide by the legal regime they have established. Significant reputational harm would be caused by disregarding the treaties, and broader principles of international relations and international law are also at stake here. Fourth, reopening negotiations would add to uncertainty and further delay the flow of revenues from Greater Sunrise. We're aware from the IMF and other reports that oil production in the joint development area could stop as early as 2023, and there are no new resources scheduled to come online. The Timor Sea treaties provide us the building blocks for exploitation of Greater Sunrise, unitisation, revenue share, governance. Casting aside the Timor Sea treaties would put us back to square one.